Okay, for this project, the first thing you're going to want to do is draw different kinds of leaves. You're going to want to fill up your paper with lots of different kinds of leaves. I'm going to show you how to draw a maple leaf. Maple leaves are kind of difficult. They have a pointy section in the middle, and then it comes out and it has two more points on the sides, and then that comes down in towards the middle of the leaf. Then it comes out and it has some more points on this side, and then that's the section that comes down towards the middle of the leaf, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side with the 3 points again. And then that needs to come back towards the middle, and then it does have one more point down at the bottom, and that comes almost straight across. And then you can put the stem on your maple leaf. All right, another kind of leaf that you could draw that's probably the easiest one is called a lilac. And that's gonna be just your normal, almost like the shape of a pear. So it has a round bottom and a little bump on the bottom here, and then another round side comes up to a point at the top. And then you can put your stem. All right, so if you want to do all lilac just because it's easier, you can. I'm going to show you one more. It's called oak. This one's also kind of a little bit difficult. Each section has 2 bumps on it. Start with that at the top, and then you come out and you do the same thing with 2 bumps, and then it comes back to the middle of the leaf. Then you come back out and you do 2 more bumps on the other side, and then you come down and you do it again, 2 more bumps, and then come back to the middle of the leaf, 2 more bumps, and then come back. And the oak leaf kind of starts like bigger at the top, and then the bumps continue to get a little bit smaller as they go down. And then the last section at the bottom, it still has 2 bumps, but it doesn't look exactly the same as these kinds. It kind of has a larger bump and then a little one, and then that's the end of it. So this comes out, and that's the end of it. And I'm just going to erase this line here, and then you add your stem, and that's the oak. All right, so you want to fill up your whole paper with leaves. I'm going to draw a few more on here, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, the next thing you're going to want to do is take a ruler, and you're going to be drawing random lines across your paper. Now, if you don't have a ruler at home, you can always just use the edge of a sketchbook, piece of cardboard, the edge of a cereal box, edge of a tissue box, anything that has a straight line you can use as a ruler. You're going to take that ruler and you're going to go across your paper and draw some straight lines. It really doesn't matter how many, anywhere across your paper. I think I'm just going to draw 4. All right, now the next step is to go in your crayon box and pull out all the colors that might be a fall color. So I don't need white. I'm gonna set all the other colors to the side. I don't need any blues, don't need any purples. But I am definitely gonna need some oranges and some reds and some yellows, some browns, any color that fall leaves would be. Now leaves are usually green, but for fall they're not. So we're gonna put the greens to the side. So you should be left with some different colors of oranges and reds and yellow and brown. Now what you're going to do is choose one of those colors and you're going to color inside of the line. This is one of the lines that I drew with the ruler and I'm just coloring alongside of it. Now when I get to a leaf, I need to stop and I'm going to color around the leaf. And around the stem. And then back over to where that next line is. When I get to that line, I'm going to stop and I'm going to color right beside it, coloring along the line that I drew with the ruler. And now I came to another leaf and I'm going to go around. And then I got to another line from my ruler and I'm not going to cross it. I'm just going to go right alongside it and around this next leaf. Around the stem. And then back around to where I started, okay? So now I have the kind of like an outline. It looks like a puzzle piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to color that same color and fill in that section, making sure not to cross any of the lines and not to go inside any of the leaves. Just coloring in that puzzle piece shape. Now I'm going to take a different color. I don't want to use the same color that I just used, so choose a different color. And you're going to color in on the inside of the leaves, but just whenever you get to a line that you drew with the ruler, then you're going to have to stop. So I'm going to use brown, and I'm going to color in this lilac leaf over here. And when I get to a line, I stop. And then I follow that straight line until I get back to where I started. And then color this all in brown. Now, I'm not done with my brown crayon yet because I still have a few more leaves inside of this section that I'm working on. So now I'm going to use my brown and I'm going to color this next leaf. And when I get to a line, I'm going to stop and continue around. So this is still part of this leaf, but it crosses over a line, so I don't want to color that brown. Now I have one more leaf that's inside this same section, so I also want to color that brown. Okay, now I'm done with this section. Let me show you how to do the same thing. You're going to continue doing all the different sections, but with the different colors of the autumn. All right, so let's move on to this section up here. This is just a small little section that we're going to work on. I'm going to use a regular orange crayon for behind the leaf. So I go around the background of the leaf, and when I get to a straight line, then I stop, and then I just color in this whole section with the orange crayon. And then for the leaf, I don't want to use brown because I just used brown right here, and I don't want to use orange because I just used orange right here, so I'm going to choose yellow. And I'm coloring inside the leaf, but just for this one section. So even though this is part of the same leaf, I'm not going to be coloring that yellow because it crosses a line. So as soon as I get to this line, I'm just going to stop with the yellow, just doing this one section. And that's how you continue throughout all the rest of the sections. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's all finished. I wanted to make sure that I used similar color patterns on the sections that were across from each other, because you don't want to use the same colors in the sections that are beside each other. So I used the yellow in the background with yellow orange, and then across the paper I did the same thing, yellow for the background with the yellow orange. And then on these sides I did brown for the background with the red leaf, brown for the background with the red leaf, and those are across the page from each other. And that way you don't wind up with the same color in the sections that are beside each other, because if that happens, if you wind up doing two sections the same color pattern, then your project's not going to turn out right.